Hello and welcome to my class Write with me. In today's lesson, we will focus on complex sentence structure and we will also write our own complex sentences looking at a sample graph. Writing grammatically correct complex structures to describe the graph is very crucial to get good scores. In my previous video, I already shared these complex structures with you, but in today's video, we'll write the sentences looking at the graph together. Let's start with the first sentence structure. In the first sentence structure, you can see that the sentence starts with a subject. What is the subject? The subject is usually the title of the graph, which will be given in the question, and sometimes it will be given on the top of your graph. The subject is followed by a verb. A verb shows the trend of the graph and it changes depending on the trends. Then it is followed by degree of change. It shows how big or small is the change, and it is basically the adverb. Then you will write the specific numbers, the change, how much it has changed from which number to which number. And finally, you will write the period of time in years. Here, the subject of the graph is the number of students. And the number of students fell. How? Dramatically. Why dramatically is used here? Maybe the difference is very big. We don't have a graph here. It's just an example sentence, and dramatically is only used when the difference is very big. And then the number fell from about 5,000 to 2,500. And when did this happen? It happened between 2018 and 2019. That's how you will frame a complex sentence structure looking at the graph. Subject, verb, degree of change, specific number, and period of time in years. Let's look at the second structure. The second structure starts with a period of time in years. There we started with a subject. Here we start with a period of time in year. What is the time period? Between 2018 and 2019. Then write the subject. What is the subject? The number of students. Write the same verb fell followed by the adverb dramatically and the numbers from about 5,000 to 2,500. Both the sentences are very similar to each other except that the previous one starts with a subject, ends with a period of time, and this one starts with a period of time followed by a subject verb adverb and the numbers. Third sentence structure starts with there was a. You use was when you are describing a past trend in the graph. If at all any future trend is given in the graph, replace was with will. There will be a. So here we are describing a past trend because 2018 and 19 is the past. So that's why we are using here there was a. Now the adverb dramatically, which we used in the previous sentence, we are using it as an adjective. So it should come after there was a and before a noun, and remove ly to make it an adjective. Dramatic is an adjective, dramatically is an adverb. Fall is a noun, fell is a verb. So adjective always comes before a noun, whereas adverb comes after a verb. You said fell dramatically. Here you say dramatic fall. Okay. Then you write the subject. But before you write the subject, the number of students, don't forget to include a preposition in. Okay. In the number of students. Then how much is the change? From about 5,000 to 2,500. Then write the time period between 2018 and 2019. Look at the final structure. The final structure again starts with the subject. What's the subject here? The number of students. It is followed by a demonstrative verbs like experienced, showed, witnessed, etc. Then write an article, then follow the same pattern what you have followed in the previous sentence, that is adjective and Noun, dramatic fall. From about 5,000 to 2,500 and the time period between 2018 and 2019. All these sentences are similar to each other with a slight variation. Note down these sentence structures in your notebook so that it can help you when you are describing your line graph. Let's practice writing a few sentences together. Look at the graph. It's a single line graph. For the practice, I have given single line. In my previous video, I already told you that for your exam, level 4 exam, and also for the IELTS exam, you will be given either a double line graph or a multiple line graph. But for the practice, I have given you a single line graph. Now, what is the title here? The title here is Sales of Toyota Cars in Niswa. That is your subject for all your 4 complex sentences, right? Now, what is the time period? Between 1960 and 1995 is the time period. And what is the unit of measurements, the specific numbers? It is between 100 to 600. So you have subject, you have the time period, you have specific numbers. Trends you need to observe. I already taught you what words to use when the trend is going upward and what words to use when the trend is going downwards, and what are the words to be used when the trend remains the same and does not change. Pause the video, observe the graph carefully, and then play it again to begin writing the sentences. Okay, let's start writing complex sentences. Now for the first graph, a particular year or a trend is highlighted with a blue circle, and on your right you have the sentence structure. Use that sentence structure to write the sentence about this trend by pausing the video. Once you are done, play the video to check your answers. Okay, now check your answers. The sentence should start with a subject. And what is the subject here? Sales of Toyota cars. So the sales of Toyota cars, the trend is it is the same, stayed the same. How much? At 100, the specific number you have to write, and then you have to write the time period. When did this happen? From 1960 to 1965. Let's write one more sentence using the first sentence structure. You have a graph on your left and a sentence structure on your right. A highlighted part of a trend is there. You need to describe that highlighted trend using the sentence structure. Pause the video to write your sentence and play again to check your answer. Let's check the answer. The first thing, the sentence should start with subject. What's the subject? The sales of Toyota cars. Verb. Look at the trend. Is it going up or down? I've already given you words in previous video for the trends that goes up, words to be used for the upward trend and words to be used for the downward trend. So the trend is going up, so I have used the word went up. From 100 to 200, so it is very slight. So the adverb slightly is used. It went up from 100 to 200 and the time period is between 1965 and 1970. Let's write one more sentence. Look at this structure given on your right and the graph given on the left with the highlighted trend. You need to describe this trend. Pause, write, play the video to check your answers. Okay, this is the answer. It starts with the period of time. And what is the period of time mentioned here? 1970 to 1975. And what is happening there? You have to write the subject. What is the subject? The sale of Toyota cars. What happened to the sale of Toyota cars? It again went up. Because we have used the word went up in the previous sentence, do not repeat the same vocabulary again and again. So we use a new vocabulary here, which is grew. And there the difference was from 100 to 200. So it was slight. But here you see the difference is from 200 to 500. That's a big difference. So we use the word dramatically, adverb here, from 200 to 500. Let's write one more sentence. Using the third structure, you have the structure on your right and graph on your left. So pause the video, write the sentence for the highlighted trend, and play the video to check your answers again. Let's check the answer. The sentence should start with there was a, followed by adjective and noun. Gradual is an adjective, fall is a noun. Why we have used gradual here? Because the change is small and slow. From 500 it came to 350. We can't say exactly 350, it could be 340 or 360, but the change is gradual and it's coming down. That's why the verb noun fall. In the sales of Toyota cars, which is your subject, specific number from 500 to about 350. Why did I use about here? Because we exactly don't know if it is 350, little less than that or little more than that. That's why about 350. And what's the time period? From 1980 to 1985. Let's write one last sentence describing one more trend. Okay, now let's write the last sentence structure. Describe the trend in the graph following the structure given on your right. Subject, the demonstrative verbs, article, adjective, noun, specific number, and time period. Once you are done, play the video again to check your answers. And here are the answers. Subject. What is the subject of the graph? The sales of Toyota cars. And what is the demonstrative verb you can use? Witnessed, experienced, showed, any of the demonstrative verb. Then article. Is article. Sharp decline. Why sharp? Because from 350 or 340 to 0 is a very big difference. So for big differences, we use the word sharp. And why decline? Because it is a downward trend. The line is coming down. From how much? From about 350. Again, I have used the word about here because we exactly don't know if it is 350 or 340 or 360. That's why about 350 to 0. And finally, the time period between 1985 and 1990. I hope you understood all the 4 sentence structures and you learned how to write complex sentences describing the trends in a graph. You can take more graphs and start practicing writing the complex sentence structures. And like the video if you understood it and share it with your friends so that they might also get some help, and subscribe to the channel so that you get the videos what all I post related to your level 4 course. Thank you.